Hi there, Chris of Marslands Accountants here. And today I'm going to be talking about mistakes that clients have made who are undeclared landlords and what they've done in the past and then why they've come to Marslands. So one of the biggest mistakes that we get is clients who haven't declared their income because of the fact that they've thought, oh, my mortgage is more than my rental income, so I'm not making a profit, which means I don't need to declare anything. You should always declare to HMRC any rental income that you receive. If you've made any losses, still you want to declare that to HMRC so that obviously you can carry forward those losses and use them against future tax years. But this is a big mistake as well, because a lot of the time in the eyes of HMRC, you may still have made a profit even if it doesn't cover the mortgage, because the way that mortgage interest has worked now anyways is completely different to how it used to be. So while in the past it was an allowable expense, it's not anymore. It's now used as a relief instead. So essentially you would have your profit and that would get taxed at 20%, and then obviously your mortgage interest is then given as a relief at 20%. So if you're a 40% taxpayer, even if the mortgage interest was the same amount as the profit, you're still going to be taxed the figure because your profit's getting taxed at 40% while the interest relief is only given at 20%. So there's lots of things to consider there. But the other thing is that some people don't realise that mortgage repayment, so the non-interest element of it, if you have a repayment mortgage, isn't allowable. And so in the eyes of HMRC, if you've got £1,000 repayment, but only £100 of interest is interest, then it's only the £100 of interest that they're going to include on your tax return, and the other £900 isn't an allowable expense and isn't given as a relief. So that's one of the mistakes that gets made. Again, if it's a landlord who had to move out of their property for whatever reason, maybe for work, and they go and rent somewhere else, they think, oh, my rent for my property just covers the rent that I'm paying at this one. It doesn't work like that. The rental income is seen as a taxable source of income, and so that still has to be taxed, and the rent on the property that you're living in won't be taken into account for it. Other things is where clients decide to go, okay, I need to get into the tax system because I've realised I need to declare the income. So all they do is register for self-assessment for the first tax year, that's the current tax year. So for example, at the moment, it'll be the tax year ended the 5th of April 2024. But the problem with that is then HMRC will then look at their records and go, you've owned this property for 10 years. You should have declared it all. And then that's when they're going to send you a prompt letter. And best case scenario, they send you a prompt for the Let Property campaign. You'll just have some higher penalty rates than if you voluntarily came forward. Or worst case scenario, they're going to ask you for a tax inquiry, which is going to be a lot more stress on you. Penalty rates are more likely to be higher. And also you're going to have more accountancy fees because there's a lot more work involved. And HMRC are going to ask a lot more questions than they would using their Let Property campaign. So while you would need to get into the tax system and register for self-assessment, it's also imperative that obviously we register you for a Let Property campaign if that's what your situation requires. So they're really the main problems that people find and where they get confused. But the other things to consider is obviously, again, with regards to what's a capital expenditure and what's an allowable expenditure. These are all the things that you may not know if you're not someone in this kind of field. So that's why you need to find a specialist who specializes in property accounts and tax returns. And especially if you're coming forward with a Let Property campaign, it's always best to go with someone who has great experience in it, such as ourselves. So if that is something that you're interested in, please contact us if you go onto our website, you can click Get a Quote Now, and that'll give you a quote of our fees for what your situation is. And it will also allow you to book a meeting with one of our specialists there. Or if you can't find the form or anything, it will be in the description. But you can always email us at admin@marslands.co.uk or give us a call on 01752 344 582, and we'd be happy to help. Thank you for watching. Bye.